What's going on, Lost Ark PvPers? We're back for the next round of events. This time we have the losers and winners brackets rounds from Group A. So we're going to start things off with the losers bracket and let's get into it. All right, we're going to get started here in the losers bracket. First match of the day, we've got Gunslinger, Wardancer, Bard going up against Wardancer, Soulfist, Paladin. Both teams immediately going to the top side of the map. Gunslinger coming out quickly, looking to get the flame knockup shot. Wardancer jumping in, coming in with the Dragon's Sweep, getting the whirlwind kick off right away to get a knockdown immediately on the Paladin. They put some very aggressive pressure onto blue team's Paladin right away. Big Sword of Justice coming out on the Gunslinger for red team, though, from blue. It's a nice chunk of damage on one of the key DPS targets already. Soulfist putting a little bit of pressure on the red team Bard right there, immediately dropping them hard, really low HP, already down around 25% health. That Bard needs to be very careful at this point. Red team needs to do a better job protecting their Wardancer. Hasn't really taken much damage yet. Ultimate coming out from Jang, the Soulfist, getting the Bard down dangerously low right there. Bard will fall now all of a sudden, and a blue team is going to go up 1-0 in this series. Palm Stun coming out, going in for the Kamehameha, getting a little bit of damage out there and getting a knockdown again onto the Wardancer. The Wardancer a little helpless at the moment and is going to get caught in the enemy team Wardancer's Tornado and is going to get saved by a Rhapsody to prevent them from falling into too low of HP, but they are still low. Whirlwind kick coming in, dashing through the other side, getting caught in the stagger of the Paladin into the Gatling flurry of the Soulfist, but the Wardancer is going to come in and actually finish off the Soulfist while the Paladin finishes off the Wardancer. It's going to be 2-1 Blues lead at the moment. Blue team having a very good opening series so far, but at the moment they do have two people in very low HP situations. Wardancer jumping in, missing the freeze leap, unable to connect on it. The tail end of the Kamehameha catching the knockdown for the Gunslinger on red side. Small shield coming out on blue. Stun coming out by Paladin, not able to connect really how they want on it. Rhapsody coming out, getting the stagger off. Snipe gonna finish off the Wardancer for blue team, equalizing this matchup right now. 2-2. Gunslinger will fall, however, though, and it's gonna go up 3-2. The Paladin, however, is extremely low for blue team. This match is still very close overall. Little tornado coming out, though, from the Wardancer on blue to put some nice DPS out on the Bard, actually. Bard putting out a little Rhapsody, trying to get some protection out on their team. The rest of the red team is pretty safe off at the moment. Health-wise, Bard is the only one under 50%. That Paladin, though, is still hanging on for dear life with no health. Getting a nice double Sword of Justice for a big chunk of damage coming out. Is going to get finished off, though, by the Bard. It's going to tie up 3-3. Overall, the health pools are pretty close. This is a very even match all in all. Some snipe shots coming out by the Gunslinger there from the knockup that came from Crescent Moonkick by the Wardancer. The Soulfist is extremely low at the moment. The only health they have is barely visible. It's being quickly pursued by the Wardancer, able to get away, does get knocked up though. Very low health, jumped in, gets frozen by the Wardancer and finished off with a Crescent Kick. And the Wardancer is going to pursue the enemy team's Wardancer now. And the Soulfist coming out of the respawn now, looking for an opportunity here on this Gunslinger. Is going to charge up their hype modes and go in for the stun. Miss both. Is going to get a knock up into a nice little double Gatling flurry and is going to pick up a quick double kill right there. And they're going to go up 5-4 in this series right now. This is still a very close match at the moment. The Wardancer for blue team is extremely low and the Wardancer for red is also extremely low at the moment. Needs to be very careful there. Whirlwind kick coming in. Wardancer gets knocked, gets the Ruffions and shielding, but they are still going to DPS down that Wardancer through it. We are in the final 30 seconds. Huge damage coming out. Paladin falling very quickly. Paladin going down. It is 5-5. Paladin actually just barely alive with a little bit of shielding at the moment. Paladin has essentially no health. He's going to fall down to a snipe now from the Gunslinger. Gunslinger looking to finish off a few more targets. Hopefully, they have 8 seconds left. It's 6-5. Red's lead, but the Wardancer is extremely low. Blue team can pick up a kill here. They are trying to finish off that Wardancer. They are going to get it 6-6, and we are going to push into overtime right now. The Bard, dangerously low HP, almost fell before the overtime. Blue team up 7-6 right now. 30 seconds to go for this overtime. Red team is behind by 1 kill, but they do have Jang, who is dangerously low on health at the moment. Gunslinger trying to get him, actually gets staggered off by the Soulfist, tries to get him in a combo, but the Wardancer comes in and knocks Jang. Jang still really low. Wardancer trying to pursue onto him. Zhang has nothing at the moment and is just being chased around. Is going to get knocked right here. Jumped on 7-7. This overtime is going to continue at the moment unless this gunslinger falls right now. Now we're into golden kill. Next kill wins in this overtime series. It is a very close match. They are going to try to pursue onto this gunslinger. This gunslinger is really low, but so is the ward answer for blue side. Both teams trying to play very safely around their two remaining members who are extremely low right now. And you're going to see red team make a move first, jumping in with their ward answer. Their Bard falling down to 50% HP right now, getting the knock up over there on the Soul Fist. And the ward answer still hanging around topside. Bard and Gunslinger bottom for red team, trying to get an opportunity here on a kill. He's going to come out with the Kamehameha, not able to connect with it. Paladin immediately drops down below 50% HP. Gunslinger falling into execute health range. Right now you have people caught in the tornado. Red team was caught in the tornado there, and they're actually going to get the Paladin with the sweep up kill onto the Gunslinger for the finishing blow here. And the first round is going to go to the Soulfist Paladin Ward Answer team comp. Wow, it was an exciting finish to that first match. Let me tell you, I was not really expecting it to come down to an overtime like that. Here, looking at the post-game sheet, we are going to see that overall, the big damage actually coming out from the Soulfist this time. While the Soulfist did take the most damage over there on blue team, he actually did deal the most damage in the match overall and picked up 5 kills. Very strong offensive series out of Zhang there. Red team had a really good, well-rounded matchup for their team. Their Bard did take a little bit more damage than the rest of the team, but you know, overall, they did a really great job staying alive. It's just at the very end there, the Gunslinger got caught for just a little bit too much damage and finished off by the Paladin. The reach on that Paladin upswing was all they needed to get that finishing blow to take the series there. But, you know, that Ward Answer coming in with a very steady showing on both sides, as you can see, you know, doing their part. Didn't pick up any kills for blue team, but, you know, got 4 assists, so that's really nice to see. That's one thing people got to remember about Ward Answer is that it, you know, it's not necessarily there for offensive pressure. While it does have good damage output, it brings really good group utility and is able to get a lot of assists with its gameplay style. So that's going to be the first series. We're going to move into the next match. All right, let's get this second series underway. In this first match of the losers bracket, we've got the Gunslinger Ward Answer Bard going up against the Soulfist Ward Answer Paladin combination. Reason why a Soulfist Ward Answer combination is actually pretty challenging to fight is there is a lot of damage reduction that is available with that comp. Both classes of the Ward Answer and the Soulfist both have team damage reduction skills that can go out immediately. Whirlwind kick coming out on the enemy teams, on the blue team's Ward Answer from red, getting that knock right away. Paladin coming in with another knock, but the Rhapsody does come in to protect the blue team Ward Answer from any further damage. However, that Ward Answer is going to get caught again by the Tempest Blast, tail end of it, and knocked once more using the roll there. Zhang pursuing topside, not able to connect with the Tri-Orbs. Palm coming through though, and a little bit of Gatling damage coming out, is going to get another knock up into the stun onto the Ward Answer. The Ward Answer for blue team just having a tough time right now at the beginning, and but the Gunslinger doing a good job so far of staying out of harm's way as it is currently. Bottom side, you're gonna have the Bard put down the ultimate actually coming out right now to put some immediate shielding for their team, and you're gonna watch Zhang fall below 50% HP very quickly. Does get frozen, however, counters it very quickly and actually gets a counter knockup onto the enemy team's Ward Answer. The enemy team's Ward Answer caught by red team's Ward Answer and is actually going to fall below very low HP range right now, under 25% health, inside that execution health range. You're going to have red look to regroup around topside. Gunslinger still relatively topped off, looking for opportunities to get a kill. Does get some staggering out here on the Paladin, but it manages to freeze grenade the Paladin out of their spin stagger, and the Paladin is actually going to get fallen down right here, finished off by the Gunslinger, giving blue the first kill of the match. However, that Ward Answer is extremely low. Tempest Blast catching the end of the Gunslinger there for a knockdown, not using the roll as they do have the protection of their team. Jumping in, Ward Answer immediately leaps and then space bars, but still gets caught and knocked and finished off. And Zhang actually catching here, nice little double Gatling blast on blue team for some nice damage to come out. It is currently 1-1 in this match. The Gunslinger bottom side now around under 50% HP. Does get a snipe off on the Paladin. Paladin comes out of the roll and kind of stands there for a moment and gets knocked immediately again and is now at the mercy of the Gunslinger and the War Dancer at the moment. You're going to have Jang look to get the Tempest Blast, but does get stunned out of it by the War Dancer. War Dancer caught in by the Paladin, trying to get to Jang. Jang staying, keeping their distance right now, trying to play it safe and look for an opportunity. Gunslinger is extremely low, does get leapt on and finished off immediately by Red Team's War Dancer. Red Team now up 3-1 in this series, but two of their members are extremely low, and right there the War Dancer is going to fall. Jang still very low, able to avoid the engagement there from that War Dancer, and is actually going to get Freeze Grenade finished off here by the Gunslinger and Bard. Paladin around 50% HP, dropping down to the bottom side of the map, waiting for his team to respawn and regroup. Blue team is going to use this opportunity to heal up a little bit and actually gain an HP advantage in this tied kill match. 3-3 freeze jump coming in, able to get it. However, Jang there with the counter tri-orbs to peel for his team. Bard actually managing to get a nice AoE knock lift there, and you're going to see Jang get staggered out of it and managing to come out of the stagger and space away immediately, get a little tri-orb knock up on the team there. Palm coming out, leap immediately coming in from the War Dancer on blue team, but you're going to see a Paladin ulti coming out here, but fortunately the Bard had down the Rhapsody in order to mitigate a lot of that damage, but the shielding is there for red team at the moment, and this is going to give them an opportunity to take an HP advantage in this matchup. Lightning Stum coming in from the War Dancer, but does get counter frozen, unable to finish off their combination onto the Paladin. Rufion's coming out to peel for his War Dancer, and you're going to see the ult coming out from Jang, and he's going to finish off the Bard with it and take a nice chunk out of the War Dancer. They're going to go up 4-3 right now. War Dancer for blue, extremely low. Jang, however, has no HP, no more than the shield. Gunslinger taking a massive amount of damage right there and is actually going to fall very quickly, and there's only 5 seconds left in the match. Blue team would need to get 3 kills immediately. You're going to get the ultimate coming out, and they're going to pick up 1 kill right now, but that is going to be the end of the time, and red is going to take this series in a 2-0 sweep, right? Red team picking up here in the losers bracket, winning this 2-0 fashion. Let's take a quick look over here at the post-game stats. And we're going to see here that Jang, once again, much stronger showing in this round. Last time, he had about, 500,000 damage, but he took almost 500,000 damage. This time, he did a much better job, had a much better ratio of his damage dealt to damage taken. In fact, their whole team did. The War Dancer as well, doing a much better job of taking less damage. And that overall really set them apart for this match. You know, they had much better engagement, much better fights that they chose on this time. And unfortunately, blue team, while the Gunslinger did a really great job early on, not taking damage, the War Dancer did get caught a few times early on and took a lot of damage throughout the match. And almost immediately out the gate was under 50% HP in the first 10 seconds of the game. And so, blue team was on the back foot. And initially at the beginning, they did have a chance there when it was 3-3 to even things out. However, I think the Paladin ultimate right there in the middle really gave red team the advantage in separating the health pools a little bit there, and but overall red team just did a better job of capitalizing on big damage situations for this matchup. So that is going to end the losers bracket round right now, and we're going to move on into the winners matchup. All right, and we're going to get this winners series of Group A underway right now. We've got Zerker, Striker, Bard going up against Gunlancer, War Dancer, Summoner. Blue team with a much more defensive composition compared to what red team fought in the first round. There's no Bard this time for Hit to go hunting for, so it'll be interesting to see how red team's going to deal with this comp. There's a much more defensive, passive comp that blue team has right now, and they're actually going to get hit initially with a little bit of a stagger knockdown from the Gunlancer, but Hit is going to get a knock up onto the War Dancer of blue team, but does get knocked again. However, gets some nice protection by his Bard to make the enemy team back off. He's going to come in with a diving slash roll, but gets knocked again. War Dancer tries to get an engagement on the Bard, misses, and is forced to use their own roll after they get knocked up. And they're going to roll, jump over to the other side of their Gunlancer and look for an opportunity. And you actually have Typhoon connect with another knockdown into the ultimate, and Hit's going to come in with an execute to finish them off alongside a Bard ultimate, giving their team protection, allowing them to be extremely aggressive right now. It's very nice combination play by red team there, and they are still being very aggressive right now in blue team spawn, and Hit is going to go for another Windblade in, but does get picked up by the Tornado of the War Dancer, and actually coming out with the ultimate inside their spawn, but the Rhapsody coming out from Red Team Bard in order to mitigate that damage. There was a lot more damage that could have been put out on Red Team there, but their Bard did a great job of mitigating that with a nicely timed Rhapsody. Hit around 50% HP right now. You got Typhoon on the top side jumping in, unable to connect on that summoner initially. Hit still low, looking to engage, not able to connect onto the Gunlancer the way that he wants to. He's going to get the nice Sword Storm there, but does get finished off by a Flame Worm from the Summoner, who's going to finish off Hit right now, making this a 1-1 series. And the Bard, trying to escape from the Gunlancer, instead gets jumped on by the War Dancer and is caught in the Tornado. Tornado ending early by the War Dancer, trying to catch Typhoon, is able to get it. They're not able to finish him off, though, and capitalize on it. However, the War Dancer is extremely low already. Right now, the War Dancer was the first one to die and is actually now lowest HP yet again. Needs to be extremely careful here. Coming in, does get caught by the red dust of the Zerker and gets finished off by Typhoon here. So the War Dancer has fallen twice now for blue team. Not an ideal situation. Flame Worm completely missing red team right there. Hit coming in with a nice execute. Yet again, putting in some good damage onto blue team right now. Is going to throw out his ultimate. Not able to connect really for any damage on it there. Does get a nice knockdown. Immediately avoids the Paralysis Orb that comes out from the Summoner. They are going to finish off Typhoon, however, off screen, and you're going to have it be a 2-2 tied up series, but two people on blue team are extremely low. You're going to have the Warlord ult coming out. Does not finish anyone off, but it does get some nice damage. However, you're going to see Hit extremely low here, just jumping around, trying to get some nice AoE damage from his abilities, because Zerkers have large AoEs on all of their skills, and they are going to finish off the Summoner finally for blue team. And this is going to be an opportunity once more. Red is going to go up 4-2. The War Dancer already low again on blue team. That is not great. They are going to finally finish off Hit here, though. Hit is very low. War Dancer has no health at the moment. They really need to finish off the Bard here. Looks like the Bard got caught in a stun after they came out of their roll and was just stuck there, unfortunately. It's going to be a 4-4 tie-up, but it is an HP advantage for red team by a lot. War Dancer jumping back in, able to go into a Tornado and actually get some nice damage out, avoiding the stun. The Bard missed the stun actually onto the War Dancer, and the War Dancer initially avoided the follow-up knockup by the Bard, but does get caught by the drop-down damage. Hit already extremely low, does get knocked up by the horses of the Summoner into the Flame Worm, finished off there. Low HP on Typhoon as well. He's going to drop. Blue is going to go up 6-5 right now, and this is the first time they are really leading. 10 seconds left. War Lancer needs to be careful. Gun Lancer down. 6-6 tied up. 5 seconds left. And this is going to be a very close match. They're going to pursue onto the Summoner here. Shielding coming out right away. This is going to move into overtime in the first match of this series right there. Bard already dropping below 50% HP very quickly. Summoner down 7-6. Red's lead. Red needs to be careful. They have 20 seconds to not die. Right now, they are going to fall back and try to regroup, managing to avoid the chain pull of the Gun Lancer there. Gun Lancer going to connect in there. Bard putting down the AoE inside their spawn, trying to avoid being pursued right now by the War Dancer. War Dancer getting a nice AoE Tornado off, is going to finish off the Bard with 3 seconds left, and it's going to move into golden kill. Next person who dies in this match will be the loser. All right. First team to pick up a kill is going to win. Both teams are regrouping right now. Red coming in extremely aggressive with the diving slash, forcing the roll on the Gun Lancer. Popping in some of his shielding, does get frozen. Manages to get peeled off with the Paralysis Orb. Extremely low HP. Tornado coming out. Able to connect with a Crescent Kick there. Typhoon, Tiger Kicking, tossing away. Does get caught in, though, by a Flame Worm. All of a sudden, right there, in the middle of everything, when the Gun Lancer was about to fall down, the Summoner Flame Worm came through and connected on Typhoon to finish him off. That is going to allow the Summoner, War Dancer, Gun Lancer team to take the first match of this series. Wow, what a finish into the overtime. Let's take a look at the post-game stats right here. Hit with a very aggressive series here. And Hit actually, while he did do the most damage in the match, he also took the most damage in the match. And that might have been what was the downfall of his team. There was one time where about midway through that first match, he came out of respawn and within seconds was already back down under 50% HP. Very quickly fell down into low HP. And, it might have just been a little too aggressive play on his part overall. Typhoon played very solid. It was overall a high damage taken match across the board for the DPS on both teams. Actually, the Summoner doing a great job of not taking a lot of damage, matching their damage taken a lot closer to the red team's Bard, while the Gun Lancer took a lot of damage to match the DPS of red team's damage taken. I think if the Gun Lancer does a little bit better job of not taking so much damage either, blue team actually has the match much more handedly than it was there, with it going into a golden kill overtime situation. So that's going to wrap up the first match of this series. Let's get going on into the next one. All right, and we're going to get started here in the second match of this best of 3 of the winners round for Group A. You had a very exciting first win coming out from red team, with the Gun Lancer, Summoner, War Dancer getting a golden kill overtime victory against blue, who's running Striker, Bard, Zerker. Let's see how blue team adjusts their gameplay to red this time, if they're able to make any sort of adjustment. Last time, Hit took way too much damage and ended up actually taking more damage than he dealt. We'll see if he changes the way he plays a little bit this time around. Already getting knocked and taking some damage right there. Needs to be careful. Regrouping back by his team. Able to get some peel damage out there, but he does get knocked, and you're going to see a Summoner ulti come out, but he's able to stand up in time and roll away before that Summoner ulti can really connect. And he's actually still about 75% HP right there. Bard ult coming through to mitigate a lot of damage that would have came out on them, and you're actually going to see red team getting their health chipped away little by little off screen right now as we are watching Typhoon look for an opportunity to engage on the Summoner. Does get it with the crescent kick, but you're immediately going to have the War Dancer jump in to peel for him, and red team is waiting for their chance to engage as they're regroup by their spawn. Tiger Toss coming in for the immediate double knockup, and you're actually going to have a tornado coming in by red team's War Dancer to get some nice damage out onto the Striker and Zerker, and you're going to actually watch blue team now fall back and regroup as they're all under 50% HP. They need to be very careful. Summoner still well above 50% HP for red team. They are relatively safe off at the moment. Bottom side of the map, throwing out the horses, trying to get some peel going out. Hit is actually going to turn around for a Sword Storm and connect onto the Summoner with the Bard, and you're actually going to have the Summoner get knocked, jump away, and throw out the Phoenix. Does get knocked by the Striker here, and Striker's actually going to come out with an ulti and finish off the Summoner, but Gun Lancer ulti came out as well, getting everybody on blue team extremely low, but it didn't finish anyone off, and you're actually now going to have Striker finish off the Gun Lancer, also putting in a 2-0 lead for blue team, but everybody on blue is extremely low at the moment. War Dancer here jumping in, trying to connect onto the Bard, but does not get it as Hit finishes them off. And this is going to be a 3-0 lead for blue, but everybody is extremely low right now. They need to be careful not to stagger their respawns too much. Striker is going to go down now, and he's going to respawn, and you're going to have the Bard now throw out some shielding, which is going to extend the lifespan of the Zerker and Bard just a little bit more. And Bard is running away to the opposite side of the map, and Hit is going to fall now. And you are now having the Bard at low HP, like pretty much non-existent HP, with your other two teammates respawning at the moment. And you got Striker top side of the map jumping away. Wait, Bard goes down, but Striker jumped in by himself. Striker all alone and actually rolled to the enemy team's side of the map, and he is now in an isolated 3v2 situation with their Zerker. The Bard still respawning, and you're actually a Flame Worm coming out along with the Burst Cannon of the Gun Lancer, and that's going to finish off the Striker, putting them in an immediate 4-3 swing of red team in the lead now. This is their first lead of the match. And that was a really big misstep by the Striker on blue team, as they put themselves in a very dangerous 3v2 situation with their Zerker when their Bard was still respawning. And I don't know why he rolled towards the enemy team side of the map and not back towards their own spawn, but that was a very unfortunate misstep on blue's part. Zerker coming through with the Sword Storm there, not able to connect with it as the Gun Lancer backstepped it, getting the knockdown on the Bard, but they get knocked, unfortunately, and forced to roll away. Now, the Bard does have some healing coming out, which stabilized blue team a little bit, but red team's still up right now, 4-3. Red team getting knocked, though, by the Striker. War Dancer, low HP at the moment, needs to be careful. Jumped on by the Striker, able to get the knockup onto the Gun Lancer, rolling away. And you're actually going to watch the Summoner take a huge amount of damage there between the Zerker and Bard as that 30-second timer hits. And you're actually going to watch everybody on red team very quickly fall. As soon as that 30-second marker hit for the convulsive buff, everybody on red team just melted by a nice combination attack series by blue, and that gave them a 3-kill swing, putting them up 6-4, 10 seconds left. Red team desperate, trying to get a kill right now. There's a bard sitting in spawn, but the summoner is not able to finish them off, and you're actually going to have the match end right like that. The 30-second timer kicked in, and blue team just put out an immense amount of damage. What an incredible finish to this match. This is actually going to force a game 3. Let's go take a look at the post-game stats. This is going to be the first game 3 series of the Group A stage so far. But as you can see right here on the board, you know, Hit was a much bigger difference maker this time around. Last time, while he dealt the most amount of damage, he also took the most amount of damage. This time he came in and he took almost the least amount of damage, just behind his bard, while also dealing the most amount of damage. I think that was a very big difference maker this time around for Hit. He played much more conservatively while also still being able to put out a lot of good damage. Red team, unfortunately, I think there were a few missed opportunities there. They had a very good opportunity when they went up 4-3, but I think a few missteps here and there really, unfortunately got the Gun Lancer knocked around a little too much by blue team there. Blue team, for a moment, I thought they had pretty much thrown the match away when Typhoon jumped in by himself on the striker and immediately gave them a kill, putting himself, in that 3v2 situation and then rolling away to the enemy team's side of the map. I really wasn't sure what he was going for there with that. But, they managed to pull it around in the final 30-second buff and actually get a, full 3-kill swing onto red team there, giving them the win. So we're now going to move into the third match of the series, the final match of the series, winner takes all. All right, we're moving in here into the third and final match of this winner series. Both teams having very nice wins under their belt in this matchup so far. Hit coming in very aggressively out the gate, immediately trying to connect with a nice sword Tempest slash right there, but does get picked off by the Gun Lancer. Striker jumping in for the freeze leap, not able to get it. Gun Lancer missing the chain pull on Hit, unfortunately, who managed to roll away from it just in time. And now you're going to have red team regroup topside. Striker waiting for their cooldown, waiting for their engage to come back in. Does get knocked up, though, by the War Dancer immediately, who goes straight into a tornado, while also getting the Flame Worm to come out, immediately dropping the Striker below 50% HP. But in the meantime, the Gun Lancer's been getting absolutely nuked. A nice ult coming out from the Striker again, and they're going to finish off the War Dancer with a very nice series of damage there, combined from the team. That also happened while the Bard ultimate came through, providing some protection for their team, allowing them that aggressive play. And this is going to give red team a very quick 1-0 lead in the matchup. Hit right now with his Berserk mode active, able to connect on the Sword Storm on the Summoner pet, unfortunately. No players. And right now the Gun Lancer is going to stand up normally, not using their role. And red team topside waiting for an opportunity. Tornado catching Hit right there. They're moving him out of the blessing, the protection of the Bard. And they're going to try to regroup topside, but they both get caught in a stagger. Stun coming out from the Gun Lancer while the ultimate's going off of the War Dancer also. And they're going to get out a nice series of combined damage there on red team. And you're going to watch Hit and Bard both take an immense amount of damage right there, giving the blue team an HP advantage right now in this matchup. Hit in executed health range right there. However, Bard dangerously low. Also need to be careful. Ulti coming out by the Gun Lancer there. Not able to finish off the Bard. I thought the Bard was in range of it, but I guess not. And you are actually going to watch blue team go up, though, 2-1 right now as the Striker jumps back in, freezing the Gun Lancer. Summoner looking to protect him off with the Flame Worm. Bard is going to fall finally, though, to the War Dancer's Tornado, and you're going to watch as the Zerker tries to disengage, but does get knocked up by the War Dancer. Striker picking off the Warlord here, and the Warlord has actually popped their Z-skill to give them some of that free tenacity there, getting the counter onto Hit right here, and there was an opportunity to finish off Hit, didn't get it, and actually the Gun Lancer fell when they had the counter attack landed onto Hit, and Hit is actually going to now fall right there, thinking he had an opportunity, not able to connect too much with his ulti there. War Dancer now falling. 4-3, blue team's lead. A very nice series of kills occurring. Unfortunately, one of them was off screen for us. But right now, Summoner low HP out in front, waiting for their team to come back. Zerker jumping in with the Tempest Slash, not able to connect too much on it. Summoner managing to avoid the jump in by the Zerker and knocking them back into their spawn, making them take a lot of damage from the flames, unfortunately, right there. But he is going to connect with the Windblade into the Execute to finish him off, and actually also get a nice bit of damage onto that War Dancer as well, who is going to get follow-up caught by the Striker and does not have roll right now. And Windblade coming through by hit, and is now actually going to get caught in a tornado, who does get knocked out of the tornado by the Striker, and the Striker is now knocked into a knocked up, managing to avoid the Flame Worm of the Summoner. Summoner getting knocked down by the Zerker, coming in with the Execute, putting in some good damage on that War Dancer. War Dancer able to pick up a nice double tornado. It's in the 30-second mark. Right as that 30-second mark hit, the tornado came out, and a massive amount of damage came out on the Striker and Zerker, dropping them both dangerously low, and hit is going to fall here, as well as the Striker. 6-4, blue team swing right now in the final moments of this match. That was an incredible time for that tornado to come out by the War Dancer there. And this is actually 5 seconds left. Shielding coming out by the Gun Lancer, and red team is not going to be able to pick up the 2 kills that they need to win this match. And blue team with a very nicely timed tornado, which put out a ton of damage onto the DPS of red right there, giving them the victory. Let's take a quick look here at the post-game stats breakdown. All right. And you had, once again, here it was, Hit, while he did have a very strong damage performance, he took way too much damage again. You know, he was very aggressive once more. We saw it from the beginning of the match. He came in, you know, sword swinging around like crazy, trying to connect on people. And ultimately, I think in that last 30 seconds, that's where it really hurt. You know, him and Typhoon both took a ton of damage from that War Dancer's tornado with that convulsive buff, and that really allowed a very nice kill opportunity by blue team to secure their win. You know, Bard doing the best they can, taking very little damage. Typhoon and Hit both negative on the damage dealt and damage taken metric. It was a very close match overall, though. It was right neck and neck until that final 30-second mark hit. That convulsive buff can really make a huge difference in a match. If a match can be very close, but when that 30-second mark hits, anything goes. It just takes one good combination series of damage to absolutely annihilate somebody with that bonus damage and crit that comes into play. So that is going to be the end of the winners series. So now the winners of this match and the winners of the losers bracket are going to meet up for the final day as well. And that is going to wrap up the winners and losers series of the Group A Day 2 matchup. So we are going to move into that next one in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoy our casting of these matches. I'm happy to be able to bring them in English. I'm, you know, still working on our casting. It's difficult getting the names of the abilities and the classes, as they've been different over every region and iteration of the game. So if you hear me say, you know, War Lancer, you know, I'm thinking Warlord and Gun Lancer, and I, you know, mix them up. And then there's also the War Dancer and whatnot. But, you know, we're doing what we can. But I appreciate you guys hanging out and watching the videos. Be sure to leave any feedback that you have in the comments below. You can also catch us casting these on the weekend live at twitch.tv/ZZav. And we look forward to bringing you more of these videos going forward.